In this video, we're going to take a look at the FallbackIfEmpty MoreLINQ extension method, and this is a really useful one for situations where you're dealing with an enumerable sequence that might not have any items in it. And what FallbackIfEmpty allows you to do is to specify what elements should be in the sequence if there was nothing in the input sequence. Now, in this example I've got here, I'm saying I've got 3 names in this input sequence. And I'm filtering this sequence to say where the length of the names is greater than 4. I'm saying if there are some where the length of the names is greater than 4, then I'll just return that. But if there aren't any, then I'm going to return Stephanie instead. So let's just run these first 2 lines and you'll see what happens. And you'll see actually we get back Annie and Claire. We don't get Stephanie at all. That's because the sequence wasn't empty. However, if I say filter for ones whose length is greater than 6, then we'll see in this case there were no elements in the input sequence that were greater than 6, so I've returned Stephanie as the fallback value. Another overload to this allows us to provide multiple items. So I can provide multiple items either as parameters, so I'm providing 3 here, or I can provide them as another enumerable sequence, in this case just an array. So if I run all of these, you'll see that the fallback, it doesn't have to have just one element, it can have multiple elements. But probably most often you'll want this FallbackIfEmpty with a single item in, and this can be useful compared with the built-in LINQ first or default method. First or default doesn't really give you any control over what you get if there was nothing in the sequence. It just gives you the default value, which is usually null. So if we were to say if length is greater than 6 dot first or default dot dump, that will work, but it will just give us a null. This gives us a nice way of returning a definite item that we want to use in the case that we've got nothing in the input.